the reality, being with a toxic person is slowly killing them, is slowly wearing them out, is slowly hurting them, is slowly putting them in a place that they can't actually understand who they even are anymore. So many people are with toxic people and they do not know that they're even with a toxic person. They don't know how to get out. They don't know how to be able to move forward, and they're stuck thinking maybe this is all that life is going to be. Maybe this is as good as it's going to get. Maybe there's not going to be a better option down the road because this is all that I'm going to have. Are you stuck in a toxic relationship? Are you stuck with a toxic person? A piece of what I do on a day-to-day basis is help people break free mentally and emotionally from toxicity. But the thing is, we have to be able to get you to a place where you understand that the frame that you're in, the world that you're currently existing in, is not working. It's not working. You don't have the facts to be able to prove that your relationship with this person is actually working, as they belittle you, as they put you down, as they beat you up, as they take their words and use them as weapons to make you feel like shit. You see, when you're with a toxic person, the whole goal is to keep you boxed up, to keep you isolated of where they want you. As a narcissist, this was a tactic that a lot of times I would do. It'd be, hey, tell my wife, hey, you should get more friends, but at the same time, make drama and text her a bunch when she's out with friends to show her that, hey, she's not allowed to have friends. The whole goal is like isolate the other person, keep you isolated so you don't actually grow. Some of you have started to taste a little bit of freedom of moving away from the narcissist, or setting up boundaries, or starting to block, and all these things. And all of a sudden it gets worse. And it gets worse because the narcissist is starting to realize that you're tasting freedom and they want to pull you back. The hard thing is, some of you can be away from the narcissist, can be no contact, can go to the place of actually, hey, I'm away from this person. I haven't talked to him in a couple of months, and you still be a slave to the narcissist. You still be a slave to that person because mentally you're still stuck. You're still stuck with the trauma bond, with the hope that this person is going to get better, with the potential that you guys had as a couple, with the cognitive dissonance of like, I don't know if I believe him or if I don't believe him. And I don't know, hey, what is actually true? Because the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows that happen in a toxic relationship keep you stuck. How many of you right here, right now, would be able to say, hey, I'm not free? If that's you today and you're like, I'm not free, I'm stuck, I'm dealing with the rumination, the trauma bond, I'm stuck, type in not free. Whatever platform you're on, just type in not free. Because I need you to understand there's a lot of people that think, hey, my current reality, my current existence is okay. And we start to minimize the abuse that's actually happening. We start to put down the things that have been happening in your life, thinking that it's okay. The highs and the lows, the good times and the low times, you're like, yeah, it's not that bad. It could be worse. He hasn't hit me, so it must not be abuse. He hasn't hurt me that bad, so it must not be abuse. And you start to realize that you can be in a place where you are not free. Here we go, not free, not free, not free, not free, not 100% free, not free, not free, not free. Instagram, not free, not free, not free, not free. Like tons of them. Like, are you seeing this? This whole place of you can be in the relationship, you can even be out of the relationship and still be a slave to the relationship. Because we haven't actually changed what's up here. We haven't changed the story that you're stuck in. You see, I want to be able to talk to you today about the frame of life that you currently live in. I want you to consider for a second that you live in a box. This frame, the square, is made up of a couple different things. The first thing that it's made up of is your stories. Your stories that tell you, hey, it's not that bad. He'll get better. This will work out. And from those stories come these laws that you end up living by. I can either do this or I can't do this in the relationship, because if I do this, I'll get in trouble. If I do this, I'll get yelled at. If I do this, I get abused. If I do this, and on and on. And then you have rules and regulations. These get placed upon you. They've been placed upon you from the beginning of time. Since you were born, they were placed upon you from your family, from your mom and your dad, from your school, from your religion, and then from the toxic partner that made you think this is what is required to actually be with me by you being subservient this way. So if I can paint a picture for you today, I need you to understand that your life right now is stuck in a container and stuck in a box. And it's made up of your stories, it's made up of your laws, it's made up of your rules and your regulations that is keeping you trapped in there. And until you see then unless something changes, you will always be stuck in that box. Nothing will ever change. And you will be stuck permanently. This is why people are putting in the chat, not free, not free, not free, not free, not free, because you can be out of the relationship and still be a slave to the relationship because of the fact that you're still trauma bonded to this toxic person. So how do we break you free? How do we actually move through that? It comes down to breaking you out of that frame. The rules, the regulation, the laws, the stories that you're telling yourself. Until we actually break you out of that, by you understanding the facts of the situation, nothing will change. Nothing will be different. You will continue down the same road over and over and over again, thinking that it will get better, and it won't. Take a look at the past 5 months. Take a look at the past 2 years. Take a look at the past 5 years, and you are still stuck. I'm not saying this to beat you up. I'm saying this to jar your reality, to understand that you've been oppressed by a toxic person and you think it's normal because you don't see any other reality. This is what you're raised in. This is what you grew up in. This is what you're used to. You're used to this by how your parents treated you, by how you grew up in different religious organizations. You are used to this. And as a result, it feels normal to be a slave, to be a servant, to be in bondage mentally and emotionally to a toxic person, to the narcissist in your life. Where do you see yourself right now? Of being stuck in this relationship. You will be stuck for a long period of time until you change the story. You're like, but I just love him so much. I want to be with him. Totally get that. That's normal. But I feel crazy because why would I want to go back when he abused and when he hit me? Totally get that. That's normal. But I must be hopeless because I keep wanting to go back. Totally get that. That's normal. You're like, how can you say that's normal? Because that's what I deal with every single day is people that come to Raw Motivations and they're like, I'm confused. I'm lost. I don't know who I am. I don't have any freedom in my life. I am not free. I'm confused. This makes me feel crazy. And I'm like, I totally get it. That's your current frame. That's your current reality. That is the current box that you live in that has dealt with your laws, your rules, your regulations, and the stories that you believe. And until we actually break you out of that, nothing's going to change. Nothing. When I started on the road, first and foremost, of like coaching and like working with people, I tried to be able to do more of it on my own. Like, let me try to save you. Let me try to make it better. And I came to the realization that I can't. There's nothing I can do to actually save you, but I can give you the tools and help support you along that journey. But until you actually take up that stand of like, I'm willing to be free no matter what it takes, nothing will change. And you'll still stay stuck. When you think about the current reality, the current frame that you're living in, I want you to ask this simple question. Is where you are, is it currently working or not working? How is it affecting your physical body? How is it showing up with the hair loss, with the stress, with the anxiety, with the autoimmune disease that no one can figure out where it came from, with all the different pieces of what you feel like you have an extra sense of lethargy. You're not sure how to be able to move anymore. You seem to have lost some of your passion, your drive. How is it affecting your work? Of where you don't want to even show up anymore, where it doesn't feel like there's a purpose. There's not even any value to it. How does it show up with your kids of where you get triggered and you lash out at your kids? You're like, this isn't me. I don't normally do this. I'm normally there for my kids. Now I'm getting upset. There's a disconnect with my kids. How's it showing up with you, with your spirituality, of how you actually connect to a higher power? Like, how is this all affecting you? Take a look at your relationship right now and say, is this working or is this not working? Is it working or is it not working? And then we want to take you to a place of what does working actually look like for you? Not with that person, not in the situation, but just for you. What is the life that you actually want? Will you get that being with this person? Will you get that with the current mindset and frame that you've been living in for such a long period of time? Will it stay the same? Will it get better? Will it get worse? The choice is up to you. Choice is up to you on what you do on a day-to-day basis. Some of the principles, some of the things that I've been talking about here are going to get broken down in our Freedom Workshop coming up in August. If you want to look into that, you can go to rawmotivations.com/freedom to be able to see and be able to understand more about it. It's a workshop. It's not a webinar. It's not me just talking and spitting a bunch of stuff at you guys, but it's where you get to interact with other survivors, where you get to work with me one-on-one in the group setting, where we go back and forth in different breakout rooms. It's going to be an experience because it's going to help you move forward in your growth, change, and development. You're like, hey, I want to know more about it. DM me. Send me a message. Got exciting news that's going to be coming. This week, we're doing an overhaul to a bunch of the stuff inside of our challenge, our Clarity Challenge. It's a 45-day challenge. We've worked on helping people rewire their mindset. But the thing that we're actually layering on top is one of the tools and one of the systems that I've been using for years now that have helped me transform the most. And that is bringing in another app. Another closed community app, not the NARC app, not that at all, but a whole nother one. That's actually helping people grow, change, and develop because they're able to change the story that they believe, get out of the false reality that they live in, break the frame that they're currently in, and start moving towards their growth, change, and development. We're going to be working like crazy all this week to be able to get everything rewired, done. We're transitioning it. We're doing a bunch of stuff to be able to give people the tools that are going to help them transform their life. But it only works if you take the choice. If you pick up the call of, hey, I want to be free. If that's you today and you want to learn more about it, would love to talk to you. You can go to rawmotivations.com, just be able to grab a time to be able to walk through some of the stuff that we're teaching and training. Because we're going to be working on stepping up our game and helping people. And part of this is bringing in a whole new tool into the Clarity Challenge to be able to take you from 0 to 60 way faster than what you've been before, because it's not like you're just tuning into a therapist every once in a while. It's you could get the tools to be able to deal with it on a day-to-day basis. The community that you can plug into no matter what. It's an opportunity, not an obligation. You don't have to take it. Is going to be coming within the next week as we start to transition stuff, revamp some of the websites, move some stuff over, and start integrating some of the apps so we can actually use it in a powerful way. Some of you that might have already gone through Clarity Challenge, there's a piece in it now where you can actually go in and you can enter in some stuff, and it kind of goes back and forth with you a little bit so you can actually understand. We're doing that times 10 of a way to help you rewire the story that you believe and change the direction of your life. Because I have that last question for you today. What is the frame that you're currently living in right now? The box that you're currently living in that's made up of the rules, the regulations, the laws, and the stories that you tell yourself. And is that currently working or not working? If it's not working, I'd love to be able to help you. Reach out for help. We're not going to do the work for you. We're not going to hold your hand, but we'll support you and put you in a community and give you the tools and give you the step-by-step process to actually move forward in your change, growth, and development. If we can be of any help, go to rawmotivations.com. If you connected with anything on this, you want to learn a bit more, send me a DM, because we want to be able to help you move forward in your growth, in your change and development. We're committed to keep doing that every single day. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful Sunday. We'll see you guys next time.